YouTube. This is going to be new security system test 21 and new system test 22. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, the very first thing is that everything has changed on the system besides the panel locations. Let's go turn on the light. Everything is pretty much changed on the system. First of all, you could notice that the color of the walls changed. We painted the room like I said we were going to do a couple years ago, and we just never did. So we can go and get started over the changes. You can already tell the first change that I've rewired the system with FTLR fire alarm wire. We can open up all 3 panels. The system is not done yet. As you can see, it's a little bit neater in there, but I ran into some issues with it. I'll go over that maybe later. It's not a different video. As you can see, that's a jumper wire, and zones, all the zones on the security system is not hooked up yet. That zone's not hooked up. These 2 zones are not hooked up because the wire actually fell behind the wall. So I have to fish it out. It's not just rerun the cable. So let's go ahead and pull that key out. Okay. Let's go unlock up the panel. And let's go and get started going over the changes. So the very first change is actually going up. As you can see, we have 1 stick of conduit going up into an electrical box. Now up here, this is where everything splits off. So it goes into the attic and it goes over to the other zones, notification appliances. Basically, this is the main feeder for everything, for the entire system. And then we go over and there is a second electrical box. This is also feeding everything. And if we go over a little bit more, there is a third electrical box. Yes, there is no conduit coming out of these. So what could that mean? Well, if we go over to our pull station spot, it's gone. And our notification appliance spot is also gone. I gotta patch it up. Yeah, I gotta patch this all up. But if we move over just a little bit more, start with our pull station. As you can see, the pull station is now flush mounted into the wall. I put an electrical box in the wall, and now the pull station is flush mount. I could use any pull station I want there. Made a little mess up here, but I can easily fix that. You can see I just gotta put a little bit of texture here and put a little bit of texture on every one of these holes that I've made before, and then do another recoat and repaint. And then if we go up, there's our notification appliance spot. Currently in it is a Gentex Commander 3, and it's set on code 3 horn. Yeah, the diff switches. Yeah, that's code 3 horn. And then here's the keypad. Just a communication fault. And because this is also the beginning of the year, I am doing the power outage test. So the exit design inspection, I think it's 5 or 6. I skipped it last summer because nothing was even working. As you can see, that unit works. And I will be cutting the breaker this time for this year. So yes, exit sign, inspection, whatever, I think it's 5 or 6. And then this wire is for the zone. I gotta put the electrical box and then put conduit to go over here. And then that'll also, I'm gonna see if I can go into the wall here. I don't think I will. And if I can't, then I'll just run conduit on the other side. I really don't want to, but I'll do it if I have to. So let's go over into the second row. coming in here, we're gonna shut this door. Everything is pretty much the same. As you can see, we have the simplex key switch and everything works on it. A wire came loose when I rewired the system, put it back up, and it did work. I did have a lot of wiring issues. I had to take it apart multiple times, and I found that a loose wire nut was inside the panel, causing a whole bunch of problems. I tried recording a system test before, and the alarms did not go off in the garage. And keypad works as well. And then if we come over here, as you can see, the notification blind spot's gone there, as well as the pull station spot is gone there. It's basically the replica of the other side and is flush mounted. Currently installed is a Silent PSS SA pull station. I didn't get any new pull stations or alarm this year. And you'll actually see why with a later project. And up there is a Gentex Commander 3. And with the exit sign inspection, Lithonia ELM2 right here. And the test button does not work. So pull it off the bracket and you can see it comes up. The test button on that board's bad. Matter of fact, I have a bunch of boards with bad test buttons. I gotta fix them all. And this one right here actually has a bad circuit board. You can see a piece of it burned off there. It no longer charges, so I'm going to be using this as a parts board to fix other boards. But that'll be another video on its own. And then I also have the security system and the same siren and the key switch, which both the key switches are there, and that's actually the only zone hooked up. So we will be testing that. And here's my newest product. I'm going to be doing a separate video on how on the inside and everything, but you might have saw a post on my community tab, and I have a a Hubble LED1 EM RWW LED exit sign. Basically, this is a direct view LED exit sign. We're going to go ahead and give it a test. And I do have it in the flash pattern. I'll go over what that means in another video. And as you can see, it works. So we'll be testing all that today. So everything in the garage in here is working. Now let's go into the garage. And some of you guys are not going to be happy about this, by the way. What I have installed for emergency lights in the garage. And honestly, I'm not happy with it either, but I did not have much of a choice. Just so I can get emergency light working, because a lot of my units were failing. So, first off, up there, yeah, you can't see much. But up there, I have my Lithonia ELM2 LED. It wasn't being used for anything, so I stuck it up there. And I used to have an emergency light up out here, so that's why I saved that emergency light on purpose for this. I just never got around to installing it, and that's why you guys are not going to be happy with the unit I chose for the garage. And honestly, not too happy with it either, but I'm already here with it. So the emergency light, the newest one, is this Lithonia branded LED-R1. It's basically a jiming LED-R1, or the best lighting LED-R1. The only difference between this one and the generic units, which this is basically generic, but the only difference between the knockoff brand version is that this LED right here will turn red when the battery is faulty or disconnected. I believe it just turns when disconnected, but it said it'll also do it when the battery's faulty, so I have to see if that's true about that once the battery starts to go bad. But we're gonna give it a test. You can see it's really not that bright, but it's enough to light up the garage. And then you might have saw the second unit. I have my dual light EVHC to help out here because of that unit It does a okay job. It doesn't do the best job. It just does enough to where you can barely see, but this really lights up. As far as over here with these batteries, I couldn't find batteries for them. I found some, but they're $35 a piece. So I figured I'm just gonna leave these up here until, see that one there? They both have bad batteries. I took the batteries out because one of them was actually on the verge of exploding in the sign. And these are not the lead acid batteries, these are nickel cadmium versions, which I found out actually from Exit Sign 250 that Lithonia made the more expensive version to where you don't have to maintain a lead acid battery and you can just install this LHQM with the nickel cadmium battery and it'll last a long time. These lasted almost 13-14 years. And then they end up getting replaced or all replaced, so I'm not going to get any more of these signs. I have to get batteries for them. I might get them later this year. I might just wait till next year until I get them. But as you can see, there's both the units and both of them are not working. This one does have a battery in it. It has one of those nickel cadmium batteries in it, but it just doesn't work. The last one went out, one that was in my room. I put the one in my room and the battery, it finally died. It doesn't want to hold the charge. Matter of fact, I can show you that. Ooh, there's a lizard behind it. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull fire alarms. Behind here is my EST Sega and EST Genesis. I'll go over the exit signs more into another video, but we're gonna go ahead and cut the power to the garage and my room. We'll just shut the light off in the garage. As you can see, it's working, everything. And I gotta give you a nighttime view of this, but it works really well. You can't see the emergency light, but it works really well. We're gonna shut that light off. You can see it's kind of shiny up here too. And a little bit on that wall as well. So I gotta give you a nighttime view of it. But the security system's right now in trouble. And we're gonna make this a quick test. We're gonna pull all the pull stations and test one thing on each security system. Like we'll test the medical on that. And maybe we'll test the key switch on this one. And as you can see, there's the emergency light, exit sign flashing away. We're gonna go ahead and start with this pull station here and begin the test. Here's the panel, emergency light, and it lights up this whole room. Let's go and get started. That's what I mean. Oh well. I don't know if the EST Genesis is even running. I think I can hear it. Yep. You can't see the strobe. The battery in the security system is actually starting to go bad. I noticed that. And the strobe sometimes skips a pulse on the EST Genesis. The horn goes just fine, but the strobe is missing a beat. I noticed that everything's just running not as good as it's supposed to. You can see, look. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think the battery in the system's starting to go bad. Right, now we're gonna get a screwdriver and reset that, and then we're gonna do the medical test on the security system. Some strobe action. There's the LED. Now it's going to give this a reset. And because this pull station was defective when I got it, the metal is bent because I have to a little bit over tighten the screw, and then push the lever back up manually. It's not how I installed it, it's just how I got the pull station. It was defective when I got it. There was a piece of metal I had to bend in here to get this working again. So there we go. Now let's go ahead and do we can reset it from the other system. And we can also go to the trouble menu and see that it's in trouble. Basically, if you push option 9 and while it's on this screen, push option 9 again, that would be trouble twice. So there'll be 2 more LEDs that will give you another trouble indication. So it'll give you a total of 10 LEDs that can give a trouble indication. There's the LED 1. I'm just gonna pull this again and get the alarm sounding. Huh, look at that. See, the battery's starting to go bad. The AC Genesis is really starting to malfunction now. I gotta replace that battery. I'm probably gonna switch it with the other security system because it's starting to go bad. So we gotta get this test ended before it goes back completely. Yeah. I don't think it's any of my pull stations. All right, and then we're gonna turn that zone on. So we're gonna go ahead and that's my code, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit that. And we're gonna test the key switch right here. I'm gonna show you what that LED does. Look at this. It comes on like normal now. I made it to where you flip the switch, the LED comes on, turn it back, the LED shuts off. And it comes on like normal now. So we only got one more pull station, and I'm gonna go pull that real quick, and that's the end of the test. It was a very short test. I knew I had batteries going out in the security system. That's just another thing I have to get. It's just another thing that went bad, and battery's really showing it. At the same time, I did run the security system for 24 hours, but it should be enough to run the ESC Genesis, and it's not. And I don't even know why I did that. So, oh, I don't need my keys. Yeah, that ESC Genesis is really having trouble in this test. Look at it. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I believe the battery in it is just finally starting to go dead. Dude, there one of my three-way switches are going bad. I mean, that's really the only thing I can really think of. Okay. That's replaced. You know what, I think I'm gonna try that first before I conclude that the battery is done. Test the battery, see if it's a battery. If not, then I'm gonna trace the wiring one more time and see if I can figure out exactly what is going on. But that's it. Let's go put the power, turn the power back on to the house, well, to the rooms and the exit signs. Take one last look. There's the emergency light. Here's this emergency light and the LED one. Now we're gonna go put the power back on to the house. And that is the end of the test. Oh, and there's the Lithonia LM2. Yeah, we might as well. And put the power back on. And I'll do another video on this, but the breaker here went bad. So that'll be another video as well. And we gotta take something, turn the EVHC off, because that's gonna run for 15 extra minutes. I do not want that. As you can see, that's off. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. As you can see, sorry about that. Have a great day.